Okay, so welcome to part 2. I had just finished explaining the swimming, and then I moved on to say that out of the 6 blocks we have 2 used up for the swimming, and then we have a remainder of 4 blocks left for PE. Now, if PE wanted to double up their blocks, that would mean that we would have 2 lessons left of PE. And then if we're just looking at the secondary school, and so grades 6 to 10, and we have 4 blocks each of PE to finish off, it would mean that in the end we have 4 times 2 sections, which would give you 8. We would need 44 blocks of use in the gymnasium. So you'd have 48 blocks for swimming for the entire school, and then just for the secondary you would require 44 blocks in the rotation for the gymnasium. So we'd have to see if we can do that. The other option, that would be whether it was double blocks or single blocks. And then just remembering that the gymnasium can take 2 classes, which is 54 students. So actually this is only using up half of the gymnasium, because that's 44 blocks. It would be used but only half used, because remember that's classes. And so the gymnasium has a capacity of 54 students, and this is 44 blocks of 27 students. And so actually we could double up, and we could fit in elementary as well. And so what other facilities do we have available to us? Well, we have the auditorium, and the auditorium is used for elementary. The secondary students cannot use the auditorium. We have the gymnasium, which can take up to 54 students, and that can be used for secondary and elementary. We have Sports City, which is outdoor, and it's the fields. It does cost money, but we have once we get there, there is unlimited amount of space and students required. And so my suggestion for this is perhaps to book Sports City for 1 or 2 days of the week. And so we have one session where we do swimming, one session where we do auditorium or gymnasium, and then another session, the third PE session, where we would use Sports City. And if your PE session happens to land on the day that we've booked Sports City, which would always be a Monday or always be a Tuesday, then you head down to Sports City. We have the dance room, which can probably take around 15 secondary students in it. So when we have students taking swimming, and the other half of the class, so that would be around about 13 students, could then go, those students could go into the dance room if the gymnasium was being used. We have the basketball court, which obviously is space, and then just to remember that the swimming pool will not be available between January and March. It's cooler, the cooler months, and traditionally in Dubai you'll get parents saying that they won't allow their children to swim in an open air swimming pool, even though the water is temperature controlled between the months of January and March. So those are the various options available to us. And Kate, I have gone through this with you, but I was just hoping Joe or Tracy or anyone who cares to have a play with the actual facts, and perhaps between us we can come up with some creative ideas that are really will provide a good all-round solution for PE for our students.